All right, boys and girls, I'm very excited to be here with you for a new lesson. This one is actually in the book here for me to do this Sunday. So I put together this lesson on Jesus' first miracle, and this is the God of the impossible. Jesus turns water into wine. So let's get started. So the theme of today's lesson is, with God, all things are possible. Jesus can do anything, and nothing's impossible to him. Today we're going to hear a story about Jesus and how he turned water into wine. And this was a miracle. This means it's something that is not possible unless God does something special to make it happen. And now we're going to see in John chapter 2, verses 1 through 11, that Jesus turns water into wine, and that is a miracle. So we're in the book of John, chapter 2, starting at verse 1. And the third day there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee, and Mary, the mother of Jesus, was there. Now both Jesus and his disciples were invited to the wedding. And when they ran out of wine, Mary, the mother of Jesus, said to him, "They have no wine." Jesus said to her, "Woman, what does this concern have to do with me? My hour has not yet come." So it wasn't yet time for him to do this kind of miracle this early in his ministry, but he likely did this out of respect for his mama. So he didn't really want to do this, but mama asked him to please make wine out of water. So just like Jesus didn't really want to do this miracle at this time, sometimes we have to do things out of respect for our mom and dad because they asked us to. Things like doing our chores or cleaning our room, or something like that we might not really want to do, but mom and dad asked us to do it. And it's really important that we do that and that we be respectful to them. Verse 5, his mother said to the servants, "Whatever he says to you, do it." And this should be our attitude towards Jesus. Okay, Jesus, whatever you tell me to do, I will do. In verse 6, now there were 6 water pots of stone, according to the manner of purification of the Jews, containing 20 or 30 gallons apiece. So they're huge. And Jesus said to them, "Fill the water pots with water." And they filled them up to the brim. And he said to them, "Draw some out now and take it to the master of the feast." And they took it. When the master of the feast had tasted the water, that it was made wine, and did not know where it came from, but the servants who had drawn the water knew. The master of the feast called the bridegroom. Verse 10, and he said to them, "Every man at the beginning sets out the good wine, and when the guests have well drunk, then the inferior. And you have kept the good or aged wine until now." And this is the beginning of miracles that Jesus did in Cana of Galilee, and manifested forth his glory, and his disciples believed on him. So only Jesus can do this. Jesus made wine out of grapes that never existed, aged in time that never was. And Jesus made everything out of nothing, the heaven, the earth, and everything that is in it, by simply saying the word, and it was done, fully matured and fully grown. So they say, well, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, 2 chickens. That's how it was, male and female, and they had lots of babies. And more examples of miracles that Jesus did. Jesus did many miracles. He heals the sick, he causes the lame to walk, he causes the blind to see, he makes the deaf to hear, he raises the dead to life. He made the heaven, the earth, and all that is in it in 6 days. And he made you. And not only did he make you, but he made you somebody very, very special. But as opposed to God's miracles, the devil has a counterfeit to God's miracles. And you may remember from lesson 5 about faith where I talked about this. So I wanted to reiterate this because I know there's some of you that haven't heard this yet. And definitely in my Sunday school class, they haven't heard this yet. So this is all brand new to them. So I really want to share it with you. So understanding what a counterfeit is. A counterfeit or fake $100 bill is made to be passed off as something real, but it's not. It's a counterfeit. It's garbage. If you look closely in this picture, a real $100 bill is not going to have the Chinese symbols on the back, but this could easily be overlooked if you're a cashier and someone hands you one and you don't check to see if it's a counterfeit. Likewise, the devil will try to pass things off as if he is God when he is not God. And the devil's counterfeit to God's miracles is witchcraft or magic. The devil has a counterfeit of God's miracles called magic, and this entices people in because it seems cool or fun or powerful. The devil has a counterfeit healing that I was drawn into before I knew Jesus, and I thought I was helping and healing people, and I was deceived into thinking I was doing the right thing, but it was a counterfeit, and it led me down a really, really bad path. And I wouldn't even be alive today if Jesus hadn't rescued me on August 25th, 2012. So some of you weren't even born yet when I came to know the Lord, not too long ago. And again, with this witchcraft, this magic, that kind of thing, it may seem harmless or fun, but when you do this kind of stuff or play games that have this sort of thing, or watch TV shows with this sort of thing like Harry Potter, or even get involved with Halloween or something like it, you are inviting this demonic bad stuff in, and that is really, really bad. And most people, even in churches, aren't even really aware of this at all. And that's part of a counterfeit, that you not be aware of it and that you not know it's a fake. So like that fake $100 bill they're trying to pass off to the cashier, they don't want them to know that it's fake. They want them to think that it has value. Well, that's the same thing with a counterfeit, such as witchcraft or magic or that kind of thing. Oh, I thought I was really helping and healing people. Well, no, I wasn't. It was a deception. So that brings us to the end of Lesson 12. And I want to thank you so much for being here today with me. And I love you guys. Thanks for listening. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.